topic is units and measurement, and the subtopic is dimension. This is the second lecture of this topic. The learning outcome is that after this session, student will able to determine the dimensions of various physical quantities. So, what is the dimension of a physical quantity? So, from the definition, we can say that it is nothing but the power raised to the fundamental quantities in order to express any physical quantity is called as the dimension of that quantity. So what you have to do, you have to give powers to the fundamental quantities in order to get the dimension of any physical quantity, right? So to express any physical quantity in terms of fundamental quantity, that is what the dimension. Now we will see some examples. From these examples, your concept of dimension will be definitely clear. So what are those examples? See, now in the previous class, in the previous session, you have already studied the types of physical quantities, and you know that one is the fundamental quantity and another one is the derived quantity. Okay, so here there are 7 fundamental quantities. Which are they? They are mass, length, time, temperature, electric current, luminous intensity, and amount of substance. These 7 are the fundamental quantities. And except these 7 quantities, all the remaining quantities are derived quantities. Except these 7, the others are, suppose we can say that area, a volume, speed, force, pressure, momentum, these all are the derived quantities. Okay, so now we will see the example. The first example is mass. To express the mass using dimension, here we have to write the fundamental quantities only notations. We are writing only notations in square bracket. Now see first one, the first example is the mass, and in square bracket we are using the letters M, L and T. Here M stands for mass, L stands for length and T stands for time. So we are using just only 3. Okay, because we have 7 quantities, but we need not the other quantities now. Whenever we need them quantities, we will add into the square bracket. We can write all the 7 quantities in the bracket, but as far as the motion is concerned, these terms are generally used, that is the mass, length and time. So therefore I am writing these terms in square bracket. So what about their powers? See, the first quantity is mass. There is only mass. It means that the power is 1. Even if it is not given, or it is even if the power is not mentioned, but we understood that if there is nothing, it means that the power is 1. So I am giving power 1 to the mass term. Mass means M. M having power 1. There is no length, therefore the power of L is 0, and there is no time, therefore the power of time is 0. So the dimension of mass is M1, L0, T0 in square bracket. Similarly, or suppose the quantity given to you is mass square. So what we will do, in that case we will write m to the power 2, L to the power 0 and T to the power 0. Instead of 1 there will be 2 because we have the term mass square, right? Similarly, we can see the second example, that is time. In time, there is only time, so there is no mass, there is no length, therefore m raised to power 0, L raised to power 0 and T raised to power 1, because there is only time, no mass and no length. This is about the second example, time. Now see the third example, that is the length. Length means only length having power 1, therefore L raised to power 1, m raised to power 0, as there is no mass and there is no time, t raised to power is also 0. So the dimension of length is m0, L1, t0. Is it clear? See the next one, that is the distance. So what is distance? Distance is nothing but a length. As you are going from one place to another, this is what the distance. So we are measuring the length. So therefore distance is nothing but a length. Therefore we are giving powers only to the length, that is power 1. As there is no mass, it is 0, and there is no time, t is also 0. So we can write the dimension of distance is m0, L1 and t raised to power 0. Right. Then the next example is area. Area is what? Area of a rectangle. So what is the formula for the area of rectangle? We know that area is nothing but length into breadth. So therefore, what is the dimension of length? So we already derived it. Length means m0, L1, t0. Therefore, we are writing the same over here, m0, L1, t0. And the dimension of breadth, m0, L1, t0, because breadth is nothing but a length. So therefore there is no mass and there is no time. There is only length having power 1. So when now you are using one formula of mathematics, when the bases are same, then addition of only indices. Now see, m raised to power 0 in length and m raised to power 0 in breadth. So 0 plus 0 is 0. So therefore the final answer is m raised to power 0. L raised to power 1, that is of length, and L raised to power L raised to power 1, that is of breadth. So L raised to L is common. So 1 plus 1 in the power. So it will become 1 plus 1 is 2. So I am writing L raised to power 2. What is the power of t? T raised to power 0 and t raised to power 0. So 0 plus 0 is 0. So the dimension is m0, L2, t0. This is what the dimension of area. Now the next one is volume. The formula for the volume of a cube is length into breadth into height. So the dimension of length is L raised to power 1. The dimension of breadth is, as it is a length, so we are using L raised to power 1. There is no mass, there is no time, therefore they are zeros. Similarly for the height, height is nothing but a length, it is also a length, therefore L raised to power 1, and there is no mass and no time, therefore their powers are 0. So the final answer will be m is the base and its indices are 0 plus 0 plus 0, it will become 0. Now comes to the L. L is the base and its powers are 1 plus 1 plus 1, it will become 3, and t raised to power 0 plus 0 plus 0, it is 0. So the dimension for the volume is m0, L3, t0, or we can simply write L to the power 3. There is no need to write m0 and t0. Okay. Now the next one, it is density. The formula for the density of a substance is mass upon volume. So we know that the dimension for mass means m raised to power 1, L raised to power 0, t raised to power 0, as there is no length and time in mass. So m raised to power 1 is the dimension for mass, and in the denominator the dimension of volume that we already obtained here, the dimension of volume is m0, L3, t0. So here is m0, L3 and t raised to power 0 in square bracket. So when there is a division and these terms, the denominator terms m0, L3, t0 will be in the numerator, then their powers will be, the sign of the powers will be changed. Therefore, so what will be the m? What happened with m? 0, the m raised to power 1 and m raised to power 0. So it will become 1. 0 will never be minus 0. Okay. Now the L raised to power 0 and the lower one is L raised to power 3. When this L raised to power 3 will be in a numerator, then the power will be minus 3. So therefore the L raised to power 0 minus 3 will be minus 3 and t raised to power 0, so there will be no change. So the final dimension will be m1 L minus 3 t0. This is the dimension of density. Similarly, we can obtain the dimension for the speed. So what is the dimension of the speed? It is first the formula, that is what the distance upon time. Distance is nothing but a length, therefore L raised to power 1 in the numerator, no mass, no time, therefore their powers are 0, and in the denominator for time, so only t raised to power 1 is there, no mass and no length. So when we solve this, so what will be the final answer? m0 L 1 minus 0 is 1 and t raised to power the t raised to power 1 will, when it is in the numerator, then the power will be minus 1. So we will do t 0 minus 1 is the minus 1. Okay. Then the velocity, the formula for the velocity is displacement upon time. It is same as the speed. You can see the formula for the speed is distance upon time, whereas the formula for the velocity is the displacement upon time. So displacement is also nothing but a length, so therefore their dimensions will be the same. Okay, so you can do by yourself also. Then the acceleration is nothing but the change in velocity upon time. So in the numerator we have to write the dimension of velocity, and in the denominator we have to write the dimension of time. Therefore the velocity, the dimension of velocity is equal to m0 L1 t minus 1, and the dimension of time is m0 L0 t1. This t1 will be in the numerator, then it will become minus 1. So the dimension will be m0 L 1 minus 0 is 1 and t minus 1 and the minus 1. So it will become minus 2. Okay. Then the force is nothing but the mass into acceleration. So dimension of mass is m raised to power 1. The remaining factors are 0, and the dimension of acceleration is m0 L1 t minus 2, as we have already done it right here. So therefore in the final step we can write m1 plus 0 is 1, L0 plus 1 is 1, and t raised to 0 minus 2 is minus 2. So m1 L1 t minus 2 is the dimension of force. Now the next one is pressure. Pressure is nothing but the force upon area. So what is the dimension of force? That we have already obtained, m1 L1 t minus 2, and the area, the dimension of area is m0 L2 t0. This is also obtained in the previous slide. So the final answer will be m1 L minus 1 t minus 2. Okay, got it. Then work, the formula for work is force into the displacement. So the formula, so the dimension for the force is m1 L1 t minus 2, and the displacement is m0 L1 t0. Therefore if we solve this, we will get m1 plus 0 is 1, L1 plus 1 is 2, and t raised to minus 2 plus 0 is minus 2. m1 L2 t minus 2 in square bracket is the dimension for work. The dimension for the energy is also be the same, because work and energy are the same. The unit of both is also same and the quantity is also same. Therefore work and energy having the same dimensions. And the next one is power. Power is nothing but the work upon time. The dimension of work is 1, 2, minus 2, that is already obtained, and in the denominator the dimension for the time is t raised to power 1. So after solving this, what we will get? m1 minus 0 is 1, L t 2 minus 0 is 2, and t raised to power minus 2, and this 1 will become minus 1. So T minus 2 and minus 1 will become minus 3. That is what the dimension of power. Then the momentum is nothing but the product of mass and velocity. So we know that the dimension of mass is m to the power 1, L0 and T0, as there is no length and time. Similar, the dimension of velocity is m0, L1, T minus 1. If we combine these two, and the final answer will be m1 plus 0 is 1, L0 plus 1 is 1, T0 minus 1 is minus 1. So m1 L1 T minus 1 is the dimension of momentum. Then the charge is nothing but the product of current into the time. So now here is a new quantity, new fundamental quantity is there. That quantity is the current. Therefore we are adding one more quantity in our dimension. So the dimension of current is there is no mass, no length, no time, but there is a current. Current is a fundamental quantity and the notation for the current is I. So therefore m0, L0, T0, but current I raised to power 1 is there. Got it? And the dimension of time is m0, L0, T1. When we will combine this, so this will become m0 plus 0 is 0, L0 plus 0 is 0, T0 plus 1 is 1, and I to the power 1 is 1. We can skip the power of zeros, means m0 and L0 we can skip and simply write I1 and T1. So this is what the dimension of charge. Now the next one is electric potential. If you know the formula of any physical quantity, you can easily obtain the dimension for the same. So the electric potential formula is work done per unit charge. So I am writing work done upon charge. So the dimension of work we already know, m1 L2 T minus 2, and the dimension of charge that is obtained previously, that is what, m0 L0 T1 and I to the power 1. So that is what mentioned over here. When we will shift this denominator quantity into the numerator, their power will be changed, the sign of the power will be changed. So this is what m1 minus 0 is 1, L2 minus 0 is 2, T minus 2 and minus 1, this will become minus 3, and I power is 1. When it is go in the numerator, this will become minus 1. So m1 L2 T minus 3 I minus 1 is the dimension of electric potential. Similarly, the next term for the electrical resistance, and the formula is V by I. R is equal to V by I, that is from the Ohm's law. We know that very well. So therefore the dimension of potential difference, that is same as the electric potential, which is already mentioned above. So I am writing the same dimension for the potential difference, m1 L2 T minus 3 and I minus 1 in the numerator, and in denominator electric current, that is I to the power 1, as there is no mass, no length and no time. When we simplify this, so we will get m1 L2 T minus 3 and I, that I will go up, the power will be the minus 1. So minus 1 and minus 1 will become minus 2. So m1 L2 T minus 3 I minus 2 is the dimension for electrical resistance. So this is one. We add one more quantity, that is about the heat. We want to obtain the dimension of specific heat, but previous we know the formula for the heat, that is Q is equal to mCT. Heat is nothing but the mass into the specific heat into the change in temperature. Therefore the formula for the specific heat is equal to heat or energy divided by mass into the change in temperature. So the dimension for the heat or energy or the work, these all having the same dimension, right? Therefore I am writing m1 L2 T minus 2 divided by the dimension of mass m1 L0 T0 and the temperature. Here is a new term, is the temperature, therefore it is given by the letter K. k raised to power 1, it shows that there is a temperature, no mass, no length, no time in the temperature, only temperature is there, therefore k to the power 1 is there. When we will simplify this, so m1 minus 1, so this will become m raised to power 0, L2, and here is minus 0, this will become L2, t raised to power minus 2, minus 0, this is become the t raised to power 2 only, and the k, the power of k, that is temperature, is 1. When it is in numerator, the power will be minus 1. So the final dimension is m0, L2, t minus 2, and k to the power minus 1. That is, this is what the dimension for specific heat, right? Now, after solving this, if you understood all this part, you can do the homework, how to obtain the dimensions. So there are some more physical quantities, the dimensions of that quantities you can solve at your home or in the class. So these are given to you, and they are the torque, the kinetic energy, potential energy, impulse, magnetic induction, and universal gravitational constant. If you know the formula of all these physical quantities, you can easily obtain the dimensions. Thank you.